visiting us pretty often, you already know the speaker for tonight. And I have personally introduced him umpteen number of times that even if you ask me in sleep about his introduction, I can do that. But I know most of you already know about him. So I thought to ask you, you tell me the question. Okay, quick question. At which age he became the monk? Yeah, that was right. Who said so? Yeah, 20. Yes, that's right. So he became the monk at the age of 20, and it's been more than 50 years. Yes, more than 50 years that he is a monk and a sannyasi, of course, now. He is also called, his name is Bhaktimarga Swami Maharaj, as you all know, but he's also referred lovingly by one other name by the entire world. What's that name? The walking monk. And why is he called the walking monk? He likes to walk, yeah? Has he walked and trekked to your home so far? No? Oh, I'm lucky. I don't stay that far, so he's walked across my home. But the good part is that he's walked across many countries. Our very homeland, Canada. Can somebody tell me how many times he's walked across east and west coast of Canada? 4 times. Are you crazy? You wouldn't even walk up to my house twice. 4 times? Is he right? 4 times from east coast to the west coast? Do you think this man with this age has done that? Yes, that's right. Well, that's right. He's walked across Canada 4 times. Any other countries you remember that he has trekked across? Cuba? No, he visits there every year. He visits there every year. I was there with him once a year, and I knew he was walking, but not across the country. I'm talking about, trekking across the country. So one is Canada, that he's done 4 times. Any other countries? US, that's right. The United States. Yeah. People remember US now a lot, specifically from tomorrow. Yeah. he should do another walk and tell it to Trump to not put that 25%. Okay. On that note, any other country? Yes, that's US, Canada. Which other countries? India he goes pretty often, and he's going on Tuesday. The next Tuesday he'll be in India for another month's time, but he's not walked across. But he has been to all the important places in India. Any other country?
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka? No. Mauritius, that's right. He's walked across Mauritius. Any other guy? Okay, I'll give you, go down south, where we're staying. Go down south. No, go down south, yeah? Parts of South America.
Mexico.
Trinidad, that's right. So he's walked across Trinidad, he's walked across Guyana, and, going to Europe somewhere where it rains a lot. Ireland. So he's walked across Ireland and Israel. So these many countries he's walked across, and that's why he's also called the walking monk. For those who have been coming and visiting us, I am 100% sure that we look forward to a lot of spiritual dramas that he put across. And those dramas are absolutely stunning, gorgeous, with such wonderful Krishna conscious message, and so captivating. I hope if you haven't got the chance, then you get to see him as the spiritual director, or maybe the part of his play as well one day. He's also the author. He has written a book called The Saffron Path, and there's another book which is the compilation of his entire poems, and another poem book coming soon. So with so many all great virtues, and personally has been so inspiring and motivating for all of us. So we welcome Bhaktimarga Swami Maharaj today. Hari Bol! Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Vallabha Hari, it's always over the top for you. Hari Bol. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just chant to Jai Radha Madhava. It's a simple melody. And where's our drummer? Oh, there you are. He was there. Okay. You all know it. I was born in the darkest ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. I'd like to take the opportunity to introduce to you one of our visiting guests here. He's been here for the last few days. He's been managing our temple at Iskcon, Montreal, on Peanut Boulevard in Hochelaga neighborhood. Hochelaga neighborhood in Montreal. We're quite next to the St. Lawrence River, Rivière Saint Laurent. Beautiful language. Okay, and his name, I'm going to need that extra mic here. Where to go to? I need that mic. That mic that Vallabha just used. Where is it? Okay, so, and his name is Anubhava Prabhu. Would you like to stand up? Thank you. So I just want to say that he's been doing selfless service there at our temple there. Anybody that actually had a temple in Boulevard in Montreal? Well, come on. All right. You get an opportunity to participate in the wonderful Rath Yatra they have every year and the beautiful deities, Shishi Radha. So he'll personally invite you. Do you just want to say hello?
Hello everyone. Like Maharaj says, we'd like to invite you all. Montreal is not that far, actually 5-6 hour drive it is. But we have a lot of guests coming from Toronto often, Brampton also. And yes, we have a beautiful temple, we have beautiful deities. Some may say that they are the most beautiful in the entire world.
You can't say that here.
Except after Lada. But if you want to be just to be sure You just have to come and check. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Anubhav. Let's give a nice hand to him. As usual, I'd like to lead you into like a 3-minute japa period. Okay? So if you have your mala with you, your beads, and if not, that's okay. We're going to ask you to sit with your back, neck, and head erect in the straight line. And if you know the mantra, well, we got it right here, okay? So if you could repeat after me, most of you have been already at it. So we'd like you to do this in unison. And just really concentrate on the sound vibration. You'll feel how liberating it actually is. So like I said, we'll do 3 minutes. We'll do it in unison. First of all, just repeat after me. Hare, Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Hare, Hare. Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Hare, Hare. Hare, Hare. Hare, Hare. Rama, Rama. Hare, Hare. Rama, Rama. Rama, Rama. Rama. Hare, Hare. Hare. Jai. Okay, so I would sort of recommend that if you know the mantra, just close your eyes. If you don't, just look at our, if we get that banner over here, it'd be kind of fun and easier for everybody, okay? And then after that, we'll speak a little bit about our founder, Acharya. I was asked to speak about my memories of him, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Mics are coming, mics are going. All right. Hare Krishna. All right, together then. I'm going to keep my eyes a little bit open because I have to keep an eye on the time, right? All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama. Slow it down. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you very much. That was great, wasn't it? Good. As I said, I was asked to speak on the memories of Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of this movement, the Hare Krishna movement, also known as the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. A little bit about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's most significant contribution is his books, highly respected by scholars for their authority, depth, and clarity. They are used as textbooks in numerous college courses. His writings have been translated into over 50 languages. The Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, established in 1972 to publish the works of His Divine Grace, has thus become the world's largest publisher of books in the field of Indian religion and philosophy. In just 12 years, despite his advanced age, Srila Prabhupada circled the globe 14 times on lecture tours that took him to 6 continents. In spite of such a vigorous schedule, Srila Prabhupada continued to write prolifically. His writings constitute a veritable library of Vedic philosophy, religion, literature, and culture. Jai. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. I'm just going to use this microphone in a unique way. Uh-oh, it's trying to film me. I guess somebody has to follow. I'm going to walk around with this microphone, and since I was asked to speak about memories of him, I'm going to tell you the optical memories that I recall him doing, and also his speech. So I'm going to come around. You get a chance to be like a little bit of an owl. You can turn your head, this way and that way. Is that okay? We don't mind if you switch your body around a little bit. Some people call it yoga. Okay, great. Now, we came into this building. We had a big opening celebration in January 1976. So that makes it how many years since we've been here? 49 years. Next year, we'll be celebrating 50 years since we've been here. And we have plans for a big event this year. We're very lucky to have this building. It suited our purposes, and it's a nice neighborhood sandwiched between Forest Hill and Rosedale, the annex, and Young Street, the longest street in the world, is 2 blocks away. The legislative buildings are just up the street. There's a museum called Ram. People see the signs, Hare Krishna, Ram, over there. Okay, I remember watching Prabhupada coming in the morning to have darshan of the deities, and he was right about here. But not, you don't mind, you're in a special place for me. Okay, and he would get down in the traditional way with his knees down, and then do full prostrations, what we call obeisances in Iskcon, prostrations. And then he would slowly sort of gently make his way up, make his way midway up, and then come up, after, and then look at the deities. And he did that to this altar, and that altar there. I just have very strong memories. This is the same floor that he was on. So before you leave, if you want to touch this patch of the floor, you might get a little extra shaktis. Okay? All right. Now, Srila Prabhupada, we made a nice Vyasa-san for him. And the Vyasa-san for him was situated right here, where you are. Okay. And you can see there were some paint marks here. Sorry, I'm going to take this away. They're still here from that time. So it was like a wooden base. And I remember it being in a dark green, like a royal dark green. And the lines are still here, okay, from his time. So he was here, and he offered prasadam. Every day, devotees were given, or they prepared some, like simple cookies. It might have been oatmeal cookies like that. He sat here, and he watched his devotees, his disciples, and some of them who had children, to all be like children. Everyone was eager, queuing up to get a cookie from him. And we're talking about prasad, something that's offered to the Lord. We decided to move, here's the Vyasa sun back here, this base here, just telling you a little history. This is the base of the Jagannath deities, which are over there. We decided we're going to preserve them. So we put this base here, and I went to India personally, went through the great measures to get this this asana, for him that he's situated in right there. In fact, I just want to tell you, I went to Chinatown to get the little tables. I bought those lions from Yonge Street on the shop. I went all over some place in I shouldn't talk about myself too much, but it's all surrounding Prabhupada. Those birds there, the brass, I went through great endeavors to get them. And so anyways, Prabhupada just was delighted in giving prasadam to the devotees. Each one would come up almost like a little kid, Prabhupada like this, and he would lovingly give. And he didn't throw the cookies, he would hand them out because he always respected prasadam. Okay, so he came here in 75 before we bought the building. And he walked through these floors here. He went downstairs in what's the prasadam area, the kitchen, and he had his cane, and he put his cane down. He said, I think this building will suit our purposes. So a decision was made, and so he prayed to Krishna that we would get this building. And at the same time in Detroit, we're looking at a mansion in a neighborhood that had fallen into decline, and he prayed for that building. So the same summer, 76, he came back, and he sent a telegram before he came. Congratulations, this is a great triumph, that we have received this building. So as we already mentioned, Prabhupada was really into books, publishing books, because he felt that our temples were not just places of worship, but they were places of learning, educational institutions, a place of culture. In fact, when you look around the corner, we have a plaque there that states the 7 purposes of Iskcon. And you look through them, practically everyone is about teaching, about learning, about studying, about producing literature that will educate humankind and lift up the consciousness of people. Okay, what I do recall also is that in the summer of '76, we had an Armenian group. They were in that park, kitty corner. Don't mind if I'm pointing to you, Prabhu. I'm actually going beyond the walls across the street. And there's a little play area there right now. But the Armenian folks, they had a big tent, a marquee, and they were doing their, let's say, musical stuff. This is in June. And they played till 1 in the morning. And it was slightly disturbing for Prabhupada, who stayed up there where I stay up in the quarters upstairs, just beyond that wall. And, but because Prabhupada is of his stature, he was a great pure devotee, he didn't let things bother him too much, There was just the music going on very long. He did have a terrific toothache. We know that he had, let's say, he put cloves in a disturbed tooth, and that's how he dealt with that. And he tolerated, a lot of things. We drove him around. took him to Taylor Creek Park, which is, does anybody know where that is? Taylor Creek Park? Do you know where Don Valley Parking, they call it the Don Valley Parking Lot? Parkway. You know, anybody know where that is? Don Valley? Don Valley Parking? Where do you groups come from? So we took him down that trail, and he had a lot of beautiful things to say. And it was like kind of like the first time that he spoke not totally in English, but he spoke some Hindi to some of our members of the community. He was very excited to see people of South and East Asian origin getting involved with Iskcon. And in that room upstairs, we called Prabhupada's quarters, he was sitting with a group of devotees, the temple president, Vishwakarma at the time, Praharna, and also some members of the Indian community said, please help these boys and girls, meaning the Westerners. The idea is that East and West come together to advance the cause of Krishna consciousness. That he did. We also, in 75, we took him to the beaches area. I'll question you again. Does anybody know where the beaches are? Okay, thank God. There's 11 beaches along here, but there's something called the beaches. So you know what I'm talking about, near Queen Street. And we took him early in the morning, the sun is just coming up. We took him on that boardwalk, I think it's 2.5 kilometer stretch. It's a great place to go. And if you live in that area, you should just go. It's a tirtha. It's a holy place of pilgrimage because he walked there. Now, they've changed the floorboards, for sure, because they look pretty new, but they have a nice downs. Whenever you're on a boardwalk, it's kind of nice. It's not like in the Three Stooges or something, you step and the whole thing plank comes up in your face. They did a real good job. And so right down where the Olympic pool was, I believe that's where we started with him. We went eastbound and then came back for a stretch. And then Prabhupada came to, for 7 o'clock, the greeting of the deities. We haven't changed that schedule. And like I said, he was offering obeisances to different sets of deities. Then he was giving a class. And about in this area right here where Prabhu is, Prabhu, you don't mind if I just recognize you. One of our brahmacharis, his name was Stevie Karta, and he was listening to Prabhupada, and he was doing like sitting in the lotus position, and then he stretched like this. And then he went again and stretched. During the time that Prabhupada was giving the talk, and Prabhupada didn't do that. He didn't like it, that showing disrespect with your bag for a minute, and even though he was doing something for his body. Now, it was Sunday in June, and Prabhupada was actually quoting from the text Chaitanya Charitamrita, and that is a Bengali text. Prabhupada's from Bengal. And our great father of the Holy Name, the one who really shot up this whole notion of chanting in the public, came from Chaitanya Maharaj. He's a monk, and he's also an incarnation of Krishna. Shastra scripture tells us that. So Prabhupada was sitting here at the Sunday feast, and he was actually quoting from a text, Bharata Bhumiti Haila Manusha Janma Pujara. Janma Sarataka Kari Paramukara. That's about a few verses that I remember. Okay, from that text. And basically he was saying that people who have roots from the land of Bharat, India, they have a responsibility to the world. And what is that? Well, it's not to deliver samosas. It's not to do Bharat Nachan dance. No, it's none of those things. It's not to necessarily say something on behalf of Gandhi. But basically he said, their job is to teach the wisdom, to deliver the wisdom of Eastern thought to the world. You know, anything outside of India people are starting to but they're unaware of Eastern thought. The thought of, well, I'm small, God is big, I'm not this body, I'm a spirit, you know, I'm meant to get liberation, moksha from this world. I'm meant to be with God in the end, in the Paramdhamma, the world like that. So Prabhupada was talking like that here. He also mentioned something about how people, prisoners of war, like in the Second World War, they were forced to eat their feces and things like that, horrible things that actually have happened in the world today. Prabhupada was very impressed with the turnout. And one of our devotees, he's actually a Canadian Jewish guy. He's very extroverted. His name is Thakur Haridas. He comes by once in a while. And he made a poster of our deities, Radha, Kirchura, Gopinath. And they were dressed in blue. And that was the first time anybody ever made a poster of deities, period, in the world. In the world. And because he was Jewish, he was very good with business. I'm just saying. He's wonderful, very lovable. And he was very successful at distributing those posters. They went all over the world, and devotees, our leaders in India, really like the posters, so we need them for our life members. So they purchased so many posters, and our Thakur Haridas, he went to some of the sports people, like football players, hockey players, and he unraveled the poster of our deities, Radha and Gopinath, which is basically a divine black dude and a white goddess. And it's like, these are magic dolls. And if you get this poster, you put it on your wall, you pray to these magic dolls, you'll win the game. And then he also went to the Royal Ballet, it was very Canadian famous. They are on Jarvis Street. So he met with one girl, her name was Colleen Cool. How cool is that? Colleen Cool. And she got interested in Krishna consciousness through him. So she learned about magic dolls because he went there too. He was trying to get all the ballet dancers to buy a poster of the magic dolls. So it was Krishna, kind of getting a hold of the public, starting to learn about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It was a breakthrough. It was wonderful. And also the seeds planted by Srila Prabhupada. He had come to Toronto twice, in '75, when we were on George Street. We had at that time 40 people living in a Victorian house. And several devotees living. Can you imagine? At night, there would be wall-to-wall devotees on the floor. And if you rolled over, you'd be on top of somebody. We were very austere. We didn't mind. We were a happy bunch. We'd get up in the morning, and for 4:15 a.m., we'd be having dancing before the deities. So my first time meeting Prabhupada was in '75 in Atlanta, Georgia, where people talk a little different, Okay. And I felt like I met him before because we were seeing film footage of him. We were always hearing tapes of his lectures and so on. And that was always a lot of fun. So when I wasn't super surprised. He was already sitting on Piazza, but when he came to Toronto that year, I actually saw his like many Bengali folks are. You're Bangladeshi, right? Can you stand? Okay. Yeah, it was about that size. Thank you. And it was nice that he ran. went through the whole building after we got it, and was very happy to see the purchase going on, because Srila Prabhupada was into growth. He was into the growth of something that was worth growing, you know, not weeds, but like something very precious called prema, you know, love of God. Love of God means love for the world. And that's really what his aim was, always, you know, in sharing Krishna consciousness. He didn't want us to just kind of lazy around and just be happy with our little puja at home. He wanted us to really share the wisdom and get it out there. Like this morning, Mahabhagavan gave a class this morning down at the conference for the Bhagavatam class. So that was very nice. That's the kind of thing he wanted us to do. To not be just comfortable with my own little spiritual advancement. He wanted to see everyone else advance. In fact, that's what he taught us. If you want to progress spiritually, you have to include everybody else in it. When I was walking on one of the walks in Nova Scotia, there was one fellow who was, it was the trail, the Trans-Canada Trail, we call it the Great Trail now, and I was walking through orchards, apple trees, and it was an Annapolis Valley. And then next to it was the road, and across the street was a guy with his car. He was loading up his car. And he was whistling. You know how people whistle? Do some of you, I want to ask you a question. Do some of you believe that if you whistle, you'll attract ghosts? No? Yes? Have you heard that before? If you whistle? No? Okay, you're too young, that's why. No. But if you looked up to some of the older generation, don't whistle, the ghosts will come. So anyways, he was whistling, and he was singing there's a song, oh, when the saints come marching in, oh, when the saints come marching in, you know, oh, how I want to be in that number, oh, when the saints go marching in. Look, it's not a bhajan, okay? But what it is really a song saying, I want to go back home, and I want to be with others. I don't want to go alone. You take people with you. So that was the mood. And anyways, this guy was loading his car, and he was whistling, and then suddenly he saw me, and I was like, look at me, saying, I'm really getting off. And he stopped whistling. Oh. So the thing is that the culture of Krishna consciousness is all about inclusiveness. That's what Prabhupada taught us. He did write in a letter, he said Toronto is a very important city in Canada. He also was praising the devotees who were traveling around near the ends, and he heard about what they did and how in Regina, devotees were going below 0 temperatures, believing strongly in the books that he had published for us, that he'd written for the world, you know, that he'd given to us now. Now, Prabhupada passed away in 77, but that doesn't mean he's gone. He's still with us, and you can feel his presence in this room. Now, that might sound spooky to some of you, but it might also sound very mystical on the other hand. I think mystical is better than spooky, okay? His presence can be felt in this room because he spent time here. He gave classes, and he was leading here Tanjai Radha. You can look online and find those talks that he delivered to us for our benefit, for people of all time in this Kali Yuga. At least for a few thousand years, people will benefit from what he had done here. And he didn't go, he was only 2 cities in Canada. Montreal, that's why we invited Anupami here today, is in Montreal, and then he also spent time in Toronto, those 2 places. In 75, when he came, he was supposed to spend 4 days with us when we were on Gerrard Street, but a message came from India, oh, you have a meeting with Indira Gandhi. Please come as soon as possible. So on his way out, he stopped in Montreal just for a few hours that day. And then he flew off to meet with Indira Gandhi. Now, there were life threats on her. People were threatening her. Some zealots out there, radical thinking people, that she was a bad person. I think most of you know some of the history there. She was a little fearful, not so, let's say, open, but she did meet with Prabhupada, and Prabhupada had 9 points to bring out with her, and he said, my American, Canadian students, he wanted to get their visas extended. Does that sound familiar or what? Things haven't changed so much, right? And the reason why the American, Canadian devotees were so important is because they opened up India. They opened up our whole mission was started by North American young men and women. We have one devotee, his name is, just have to think for a minute now. Well, we have Mahavir. He's from Hamilton, and he basically opened up Brazil, South America. He's one of our young men. He didn't know a stitch of Spanish, but he went in there and opened it up. We also have, just trying to think of this one devotee. He's another devotee in Hamilton. He was a Kennedy boy. Help me. Who's up there? No, not here, Deborah. No. It'll come to me after I finish, we usually works. And he was, always spent a lot of time there. He would have been an amazing professor at the University of McMaster. He's got the history now. If you ever meet him, he's a Canadian boy, and he knows more about the history of India, all the regions, than all of you put together. I swear. And he drives a truck. He's very, very lively person. So Prabhupada made all these wonderful devotees, and he continues to make devotees, people serious in spiritual life, because of his potency. When I say that he's still here, he is still here. And the way that you can understand and feel him, it's through his books, it's through the literatures, it's through the standards that he set for us, that we're still maintaining, whether it's deity worship or the classes that he started off with. We have these wonderful classes in the morning and evening, and kirtan, and we have music lessons. He also was very excited to hear about our Rath Yatra. He sent a letter. We sent him a letter. We reported to him that we had a parade, and it started right here, on this north side of the building. We went down Avenue Road, and all the way to University Avenue, and ended up at City Hall, Nathan Phillips Square. So we told him we had Scottish bagpipes in there, we had an elephant, we had Gujarati ladies with their garment, the sticks and everything like that. He was very happy to hear about those kind of things going on in our grand city. So, all in all, many wonderful, magical things have happened here in Toronto, Canada, and it continues to go on because Prabhupada was powerful, he's potent, and I should say in the present tense, is. So if you want to make some spiritual advancement, you can connect yourself with him. He is our Jagat Guru. He's our Guru for the world. You can definitely have the connection and a relationship with him. There's absolutely no problem. At the same time, he wanted us to get trained up. He wanted us to have our own gurus in our life that are Iskcon approved, and so that we can all make spiritual advancement. We had a restaurant on Avenue Road. Eventually he came back here. And so through Prashada distribution, one time said, I see people are not visiting, the local people are not visiting the temples so much. So then therefore we should have restaurants and reading rooms. So that's why we opened up Govinda's, because he wanted us to. He asked us to, he told us to. So we're trying to our best to follow through. And I just want to thank, those are some of my memories of Srila Prabhupada. I have more things to say about things that went on in this building and before that. And but I had a glorious time to see in Chicago, Atlanta, Detroit, Toronto, where about? Montreal? No, I didn't see Montreal. But I think that's good enough, just to see him once. All right? And then, but in Detroit, I was there for a Sunday feast, that would have been 75, and he was sitting like, kind of like in a profile, like this. Because I was sitting very close to him, and I had been working very hard, and I was nodding out. It was very good. And I couldn't absorb what he was saying. It was just because I was very exhausted. I was a hard-working manager. I just remember at the end, like I could see his profile, do not be proud. And that's all I needed to hear. So, to not be proud means to be humble, and humility is the foundation for success in life. Would you agree? How much? 100%. Okay, so thank you very much. We don't have time for questions and answers. It is chow time. And thank you very much for coming to the temple. Really? But I'll be going to India on Tuesday, and we're going to be putting on some drama performances in Mayapur at the Prabhupada Swami Auditorium. And then some of our actors are going to do Andhra Pradesh, Iskcon. Is anybody from there? Andhra Pradesh, anybody? Oh, good. Shall I? Oh, you represent everybody then from down that way. We're going to do some beautiful performances there. Thank you very much. Please pick up some books on your way out. Pick up some meetings for chanting. You can continue on. If you like what's going on here, you'll also like it at home. You can change things at home with beads, with books, and with bhakti. 3 B's. Is that okay? 3 B's. Okay? Thank you very much. And what we'll do. Maybe it's been a little while since we did this. It has been a little while. So we'd like you to sit with your back, neck, and head right in a straight line. Okay? We'd like your hands to the side. Okay? Now just have no emotions in your face. Okay? We're going to change that up. Okay? Raise your palms. Put them way up above your head. Now what you do is put your palms up. Lower the 2 palms and have your thumbs hit the forehead. Okay? Now what you do is you slide the 2 thumbs and ski slope them off your nose and have them land on your lips. Now what you do is fan out your thumbs like this. Stretch and slowly curve upwards. And then we have what's called facial yoga. Smile. Let it go.
Thank you, Maharaj, for the wonderful session and all the beautiful memories with Prabhupada. I was actually talking to Prabhu out there, and Muralidhar Prabhu, he's the one who coordinates everything here. You have seen him there. So he made me miss the 3 B's. I didn't listen that part. So can anyone help me with that? What were those 3 B's? Beads, books, and? Okay, beads, books, and bhakti. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Well, that was for my own information. And I don't think I had to give that introduction because the way Maharaj walked from here to there to everywhere, that was pretty much a demonstration of him being the walking monk and doing all the walking inside the temple hall. So thank you, Maharaj. I quickly have a few announcements to make. One, we have Ekadashi coming up, that's on February 8th, that's Saturday. And just the next day, which is February 9th, is Varahadev Appearance Day. So that is also coming up. On Monday, which is the next Monday, not the coming Monday, but the next Monday, is Nityananda Prabhu's, it's the Nityananda Tryodashi, which means appearance of Nityananda Prabhu. You know, the first altar we have darshan of God and I, so it's appearance day of Nityananda Prabhu. We will have the festival here in the temple hall, evening 6 p.m. So you are please invited, all of you can come over. Also, we have on Sunday, February 9th, which is next Sunday, session by Kanadanta Prabhu. He's visiting us from the US. He's also our disciple, and we'll have the session next Sunday. Also, we will have a few of the morning Bhagavatam classes by him.